What is going on, everyone? It is I, once again, Shuby, coming to y'all today with a few helpful tips for Stage 12 and Stage 13 in the Gauntlet within the Towers of Time. Now, most of these fights are relatively easy to complete, but I did have a little difficulty with a few of them, so I thought I'd help y'all out by throwing a few tips out there. The first fight we're going to be looking at is the Vengeance at Last. It's the fight against Sub-Zero, and his modifiers are Ice Storm and Gift of Ice. And the first thing we'll want to do is go to the whole tower modifier and get that cleansing stone so we can get rid of that ice storm. So with the storm taken care of, we're going to counteract Gift of Ice by going to the single fight consumables and picking up Crippling Spiked Guard, which will allow you to punch right through that armor, and it should be much easier of a fight for you than it was for me, because grabbing that Frost Core fragment did absolutely nothing for me. And you've already gotten rid of the storm and it does nothing against the armor itself, so maybe pick up a healing element or maybe some armor for yourself to make that fight somewhat easier. But those first two consumables are definitely your go-to for this fight. And just a friendly reminder, you do want to make sure that you perform a fatality on Sub-Zero, because it is a requirement for you to clear this tower and progress on to the next Gauntlet platform, which is what we're going to be looking at right now. So hopefully those tips help you with Sub-Zero. But let's hop right into Stage 13, TOASTY. Now that first tower, it's not very difficult. Everybody has different modifiers, and you can counteract them relatively easy. If you happen to have difficulties, let me know. But the one I found pretty interesting here is Shao Kahn, because as you fight Shao Kahn, the lower his health bar, the stronger he becomes. So he deals increased damage while he takes damage over time. So if you're about to, knock him out or kill him, then he's got more strength than ever, and performing a fatal on you right at the end is pretty much guaranteed that you're gonna lose that round. So the consumables that I found best to counteract his modifiers are going to be the Static Shield Generator, which is supposed to negate 100% of electric damage, so it should take away some of the growing stronger damage multiplier. But also the Orb of Jataka's Soul, which protects you from damage for a short time. So it's very beneficial, especially when Shao Kahn's health bar is a little bit lower, so that way he doesn't just annihilate you at the end there, and it makes the fight just kind of a breeze. Makes it a lot easier. If you don't get it the first time though, don't fret. Try again with the same modifiers. I guarantee you will be able to do it with those consumables versus his modifiers. My last tip for this tutorial is going to be the I Am Smoke Tower, which is the fight against Scorpion, and his modifiers are the Deadly Vapors, Cybernet, and Hunter Killer Protocol. Those are a little bit annoying, but they definitely aren't the worst part of this fight. The speed fluctuates throughout the fight, so you're going slow, you're going fast. It's ridiculous. I hate matches like this where it's just like you can't time things right, you can't get your combos right, you can't block things or perfect block whatever, right? It's just really annoying. So to counteract the speed fluctuation was the main thing that I looked at, and I actually did beat this without using consumables the first time, but I wanted to make it even easier for not just me but for everybody. So I went to the whole tower consumables and I picked up the Distilled Magic, which will increase my magic attacks. But then I grabbed the Enchanted Cyto Guards, which actually helped me out quite a bit. It slowed them down a lot. So every punch I landed on them, it slowed them down more and more. And I mean, it just totally negated that whole speed fluctuation, made it a lot easier for me. And then since I have one more consumable slot left, I wanted to get an attack in my consumables, so I picked up the Bloodied Tonfa, and that just throws, it's Tanya's thing, she throws Tonfa back and forth, and it just does a little bit more damage since we picked up that whole tower consumable to increase all of our magic. So as you can see, that once we start getting those punches on him, Scorpion moves a lot slower, and just makes this fight a lot easier when he's the one that's being slowed down by your consumables instead of the match dictating how fast or slow you guys go. It just makes it a heck of a lot easier. And those Tanya's Tonfas, who came up with that? yeah, it does about 100 damage when he gets hit with both of them, which is good for the setup for a combo for yourself, or just to get him off of you. But the cooldown of that is pretty fast, so you're able to use it quite a bit throughout the fight, and it should make the fight way easier. But if you happen to not have one of the consumables that I have shown you, maybe not just in this part of the tutorial, but any part of the tutorial, let me know, and I can maybe coach you guys to use some other ones that I might have found to help me out, but just not as good as these. So like I said, like, I do multiple fights using different consumables each time just to see which one's the best setup. So I pretty much give you guys the best setup that I can find. But like I said, if you happen to not have one of these consumables, do not fret, because I have beat it using other consumables more than likely, and I'll be able to help you out there too. So anyway, once again, I'm Shuby. Thank you for watching today. That is all, and I'll see you in the next one.
Maybe they've always been with us. Those things out there. Maybe they love it.